sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. So I've been doing something that has been highly impactful for me in a really good way. And it's a podcast that I signed up to listen to. It's one that I pay for, actually, and it's worth every penny and more. And I highly recommend it to you if you're a podcast person and if you believe in the power of biographies and autobiographies to learn lessons that you're not going to learn in the news today. So the name of this podcast, and there'll be a link in the show notes, is called The Founders. It's by a guy named David Senra, S-E-N-R-A, The Founders by David Senra. And David's, by most measures, is a nerd. He's a really bright nerd. And what he is attempting to do is to read roughly 50 biographies and autobiographies a year of great industrialists, of people who have built businesses. And then he takes somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half, and he summarizes the things that founders of businesses, entrepreneurs, need to know from these historical figures that he is reading about, studying, and sharing information. And I have listened to biographies of everybody from Jay-Z to Rockefeller to Henry Flagler I just finished. It's fascinating, really, really interesting. And one of the things that it's helped me do, and that I would highly recommend to you in this day and time, is to turn off the effing news. Don't listen to it. Don't read it. It's doom porn, right? They're making money by selling doom headlines to drag you in, make you feel bad. I want you to picture that this is exactly like junk food. Watching the news right now is just like eating junk food and has the same effect on your wealth that eating junk food has on your health. It destroys it. Reading the news, listen to the news is like eating junk food, but what you're doing is destroying your wealth instead of your health. Because you'll get to believe that everything is going to hell and is never coming back, which is complete bullshit. It's bullshit. We're going through a business cycle. Some are worse than others. We have no idea what this is going to be, but I will tell you, in general, that recessions and depressions are generally personal. Not everybody goes down, not everybody struggles. Everybody may work harder, you have to work different, but it doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen. There'll be plenty of people that make their fortunes during a time of a lower economic cycle because they were smart enough to take advantage of it, because they kept a big picture view, they saw opportunities, and they moved on them. One of the things that happens to people, and I know it's happened to me in the past, is I sit around and listen to other people complain and bitch and whine about how hard things have gotten and how the economy is so terrible and how blah, 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 blah. Nobody's buying, nobody's selling. It's just awful. The reality is, if you listen to those people, that will be your reality too. When I was in the commercial real estate business in the early 90s, late 80s, went through a tough time. Tax law change really screwed things up, screwed up values. And for most of us, it was a time of very lean income. Mostly because everybody around me is saying, well, this sucks. Nobody's going to buy anything anyway, so why should we try? However, in my little office of 20 people, there were 3 or 4 guys who didn't hang out with the rest of us who were bitching and going to lunch early and coming back from lunch late and maybe drinking a beer or two, because what the hell did it matter? Going to movies on Friday afternoons. But what these guys did was not hang out with us. They didn't go have beers with us. They didn't have lunch with us. They didn't hang out in the hall and complain with us. They would walk by and maybe wave or just put their head down and keep going. They'd go in their office. They'd get on the phone, and they figured out how to make money anyway. And I think you'll probably find that around your office. If things are, change in the economy, right? If we are going to some kind of recession or something, there'll be plenty of people in your business to say, well, this is it. It's over. We're done. There's nothing we can do. I would tell you to ignore those people. Stay the hell away from them. Don't listen. There is no value in that. Now, I'm not talking about being happy, cheerful. If I was any better, I'd be twins bullshit. What I'm saying is, I think I tell my kids this all the time. The most valuable skill that you can have as an adult, or among them, I'm sure there's a more valuable skill, but among them as a business guy, is how to figure shit out. Can you figure shit out? And right now, what you need to figure out is, how am I going to not only survive, but thrive during this time of economic change? And that's what it is. It's just change. Label it recession, depression, whatever the hell it is, or maybe it's just change. It's been going on for a long time and will continue to go on. And how you handle this might dictate the way a lot of your career goes going forward. Are you somebody who would rather hang out with the losers and complain and bitch and throw your hands up and say, we might as well play cards because this isn't going to work? Are you somebody that says, I don't understand why these people aren't working. They're just leaving more opportunities for me. So what? Right? Let's go find ways to do business. Some of your clients are going to struggle. Some of them are going to figure out a way. What I would suggest you do is this. As I said, turn off the news. Find something constructive to do with your time. Listen to podcasts. Read books about people who have succeeded and what they did to succeed, and how the horrible things that people have been through, much worse than whatever it is we're going to go through, that have come through the other side with flying colors because they're willing to put in the work, spend the time, get it done. I would suggest you go back and revisit your goals. Why are you working in the first place? Why does it matter that you grow your business? What are those things that are personal and compelling to you that would cause you to go in and do the hard work that everybody else says is a waste of time? Just because the world around you may have changed doesn't mean your goals have to. If those things were important to you 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years from now, and they're still important to you now, there's no reason you got to give up on those things. You may just have to find a different way. Some of the stuff we got lucky before, where our phone was ringing and people were calling and that was easy and we thought we were good. Well, maybe that's not going to be as strong this time. So what do we have to do? You can complain and your wealth will take a hit for it. Or you can say, okay, what next? I need to figure this out. And mostly, my guess is what you'll figure out, if you really want to figure it out, is I need to focus on my prospecting behavior. I need to pick up the damn phone. I need to get out in front of more people. I need to be having conversations with other people who seem to be figuring it out. I need to be ignoring those that are doomsdayers, because they're not going to help you at all, make you unwealthy. Focus on your goals. Focus on your prospecting behavior. Close the door on the complainers. No value there for you. It's so tempting to want to be a part of them and throw your hands up and drink beer and say, woe is me. Misery loves company. Don't be company for those who are miserable. At best, you might offer suggestions for what you're doing. Chances are they won't want to do that because that's hard. Complaining is easy. Makes you feel like you're doing something and you're not. Take responsibility for your own success. Go make the phone calls, have conversations with people, ask them how they're making it. How are they doing? What are some ways that they are finding to make their business go better, to make it through anyway? Spend time with those people who are figuring it out and not with those that aren't getting it done. One more thing I'd suggest, it sounds very self-serving, hire a coach. Hire somebody whose interests and yours are completely aligned. All they want to do, their whole focus is to help you get better, to not let you talk yourself into whatever shitty economy or not is coming up. Remember, recessions, depressions are personal. You don't have to have one yourself. Keep working. Put your head down. Figure out who are those people that are still doing business. Who are those people that are thriving? And go find them. Pick their brain. Hang tight with those guys. They'll help you get through. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. Go get them.
Thanks for listening to No BS Sales School podcast. If you haven't already, please take 1 minute to write a quick review for the show. It really does make a huge difference. Also, subscribe to the show and please forward this episode to somebody else who needs to hear it. As a bonus for listening, I'm going to give you access to a free mini course, 7 expensive sales mistakes you're making and what you can do about it. Go to www.7salesmistakes.com and get access to the free mini course. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.